This video may contain spoilers for Xenoblade 1, 2, 3 and the recent Nintendo Direct. That being said, let's press on. So, the correct answer was option A, at least from what they have shown us so far. Also, the band and founder doesn't look like Faye. Makes sense as a Noah descendant. His jacket and color scheme rocks though. Already one of my favorites. Anyways, today's topic is an analysis of the Wave 4 teaser. How original. Although I will not mention things like how the Aegis swords look different, Alvis, or that they haven't lost an arm and an eye yet. Those topics have already been covered a lot. Instead, I will focus on things that I have noticed but haven't heard of them being brought up yet. Mostly geography matters and the base game's clues. This will be a short video, I think. Still scripted, but it's a rushed script. Let's start with the geography, and the big one. We can see Uraya's mouth in the distance during the early shots of the new land. Not only that, but we can see a trail from it to the Bayonet's LED fragment seen here. So, the missing part between the Uraya trail and Rival Tablelands could be it. There are many shots where we can see the Titan from a 3/4 view mostly, although in some we can see it from the front. Hence, the new land must be somewhere above the Great Vortex, from where we can see it up front. So, somewhere closer to Cadencia. We can also see Morardaine's hand and the Magda buildings. 2 points of comparison are better than one. Although we can spot a way taller building from what we've seen in the base game. Maybe it's this one which fell sideways at some point in the story. Will we have something to do with it? A battle perhaps? Okay, back to Uraya. The land appears to be connected to most regions, and considering that the remains of the city that N destroyed are in Cadencia, it should be near that area. Plus, Uraya is looking into that position, and it's very close to the sword, which would help with the migration. Additionally, we can see the Gaur Plains arcs there too. So, part of the new land, which has remains of the Bionis leg, must have been connected to it. Another clue we have is the 3D model of the map during the Origin events, thanks to the World of All Rest for their datamine labor. We can see the Bionis remains, mostly connected to Cadencia, looking at Uraya up front, so the position of the new land, which was part of the Bionis leg, makes sense. And the proximity between the leg Colony 9 and Colony 6 helps with this case. And speaking about the leg, Milik Meadows had only a fragment of the arcs, the right ones if we look from the Bionis perspective. Hence, this new land where the Raquel Bridge must have been separated due to annihilation events or a landslide, fragmented and floating away. We might get to see how Ionis originally looked like, not donut shaped as in the base game, and having all the regions connected, more akin to the concept art, plus new regions maybe, or just filling the annihilation holes. Will we see Uraya's depths instead of the tunnels? Other titans? Will Uraya be unhurt? If that's the case though, where might Origin be? Where might Origin be? I have two ideas on the matter. First, in the sky, hidden above, like Solaris, or two, underground, under the regions, after the initial crash maybe? RIP Colony 9 in the future. And speaking of... Okay, part 2, the landmarks. We can clearly see Colony 9 hanging there, near an annihilation event abyss. It should be next to the sea as seen in the Xenoblade 1 ending, with the whole military district gone, acting as a dock. There's one issue, it was on the other side of the Bionis. unless Origin messed up the data during the creation of Ionios. While on that, is Colony 9 the city seen in the opening of the game? Will part of it be taken to the Chaos Castle region? Is the old city Colony 9 or Colony 6 or something else entirely? Aside from that, the Daksha shrine is visible for a few frames during the trailer. Why is it there though, unless it's some kind of dock? I'm really excited to see where all of these roads take to, but why is Daksha shrine visible in this particular area? It should be behind those mountains. Aside from the initial zoom in, we can also see the Raquel Bridge in this scene, where the Bandam founder /Faye Kim confronts someone, possibly N, about his grandpa. As you can see, it has the same steel beams. Additionally, we can see this suspicious structure while Alvis hasn't faded entirely from the screen. What is this? It reminds me of the Iron Wheel in the concept art, although it could be an Agnian colony due to what may be one of its arms we have yet to see. Now, part 3, Founders and Characters. First, Bandam.
He's got Noah's chin.
A cool color scheme, set to use the classical art of fist fighting like Faye. His gauntlet is similar to Noah's. Maybe he and Shulk will be involved in the design of this one? At some point, he got the power of Ouroboros. We know that the old city was in possession of the old Ouroboros stone. Maybe this is one of the reasons Seth sent N to destroy the city? They don't like those stones, as seen in the base game's first chapter.
Though we don't understand it fully, some functions may still remain hidden. But still, even in its current state, the power it's releasing is more than enough.
Will Shulk participate during the refinement of these stones? In Noah's flashback, they speak of the wish entrusted to them by the Queen.
With this in hand, we can fulfill the wish entrusted to us by the Queen.
You mean, take back the world from Mobius?
Yes.
And in other cutscenes, we can see that the Queen gives the key to find her to M.
It's you. We've met before, when you were still human. Your Majesty, my Queen. I will go to sleep, for a good long time indeed. That should keep me out of Zed's claws. Take this. Whenever it is I wake up again, the world will be ripe for a change.
So, she hasn't been sealed yet. Okay, back to Bandam. He's confronting someone who killed his grandpa. I think this grandpa of his would be N's and M's son, as when N vanished in yellow particles, we see his sword falls and stays with the child, but we see that N destroyed the old city while having the sword. So I think he might have retrieved it from the old man, while Bandam was outside, in a sad encounter or without realizing at first, and then continued with the city.
Like killing Granddad wasn't enough for you?
M later confronted him about killing their descendants.
Tell me why!
I didn't want to lose any more.
What do you mean anymore? Everything we held dear is gone. You took them all away. And you dare talk about your feelings of loss.
This is later brought up again in chapter 7.
I'll ask again. Why did you do it? Tell me! How could you murder the city's people? Just think! They were the lives of your own kin! My own kin? You're wrong. They were nothing but mere chaff. They were superfluous for us Mobius living in the now. Furthermore, all those lives wouldn't have existed without me. As their original creator, I held dominion over their lives and deaths. Listen to yourself.
Okay, back to Gundam. Again. The city's restorer and liberator. He's said to have fought Mobius and, that checks out, and fully realized the power of Ouroboros, heretofore limited. We see a translucent Ouroboros summon, and no one else. Maybe this is why it's limited. This will be important as Doyle was lost, more on that later. And after a whole DLC adventure later, he reestablished the city. He then departed into a lonely expedition, maybe to hack Origin's data with the help of Shulk or Ortiz to fix N, who is the wielder of the Sword of Origin.
N is the wielder of the Sword of Origin.
To fragment his data, split him or something, explaining the why did you split from the other self?
Why did you split from your other self?
The two of you one day, you will certainly meet your true selves.
Either that or helping in the creation or transportation of the new Lucky 7, maybe sealing Riku away. No one suspects about Nopons, to give the sword to the new Noah in the future.
What's this?
Magic sword, Lucky 7. Riku knew Noah was hero material. Can still keep Lucky 7, maybe in some kind of disguise. In different words, can turn it into sheath. One day, such time surely come. No need for overthinkings.
Too much speculation, sorry. Okay, Doyle, Founder Doyle. We don't know much about her aside from being the sister of Gundam,
That one. She looks a bit like Mimi.
hence he can't be En's son as he was an only child. We know that she was missing during the attack on the old city, but later she brought the Ouroboros power to completion, so at some point she reunites with her brother. Maybe this is the first interlink? She then established the law and all of that. Okay, the Wraith Mentor. Shulk. Yes, his statue has a mechanical arm, but also his hair is way longer. Some time must have passed. We know he's smart, a mechanic, and now confirmed as a swordsman, firm and true. Danban's legacy? Upgrading his martial skills each day. It's important to remember that it's possible he participated in the design of Origin, explaining its monado-like functions. Okay, the Cassini Mentor. Rex. His buffed statue wasn't lying. What did he eat? Some had stated that he could be the granddad and Gundam would be N and M's son, but this wouldn't add up, as Grandpa died earlier. And the statue says he was still young and impressible when the city was restored. Okay, last stretch. This is a short section. Important information to keep into consideration. I don't want to touch all this topic.
Apologies. However, I have good reason.
As it's the most relevant, yet the one we know less about. I wouldn't fixate too much on the sword. As Sansa said,
its appearance is merely an illusion. Its form morphs to conform to the will of its master. The power comes from within.
We all know that Shulk stated that the future should be decided by each and every person.
The future should be decided by each and every person in the world.
And that said, hence Mobius, are the amalgamation of the will of each and every person, their will to persist, clinch to existence in fear of total oblivion. Many think Alvis will be Consul A, so along with Z, they will make the beginning and the end, from A to Z. But here is an interesting thought that came to me. Mobius. We see in Noah's flashback that Z was the one to get his hand dirty back then. We don't see other Mobius. We don't even see Y or X yet. But most importantly, no consuls. Maybe Z and Alvis did most of the work as they didn't thought of outsourcing yet. And that will explain why N is the golden console, maybe the first one due to the Sword of Odin, and after him they started looking for more, but maybe with each new console Zed's power was fragmented, hence getting weaker. This is all massive speculation. Okay, N's son was left in the woods, but I don't think old Noah would have done this on purpose. He might have been taking him to the city. Maybe here he was adopted by the Bandam orphanage. That would explain their surname. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Bandam had an orphanage, right? Isord stated that in the Lost Colony there used to be a castle, damaged in an old battle. Will we see this happening? Tyon theorized that the past two Ouroboros might have been responsible. Also, Melia was taken prisoner in an unknown point in time. N said they need her as Origin's fulcrum.
You cannot have the Queen. She is the fulcrum of Origin itself. By my very existence, I will keep her from you.
So Origin doesn't crumble? Due to her key/monad? Maybe something changed during the prequel DLC adventure. And a big mystery. Who is Ortiz? Resembles Shulk, has mechanical skills, built a weapon of his own. Maybe Shulk during the late game will be sent back into the flow, where he belongs, and be born as a Kibesi soldier, or maybe it's one of Shulk's and Fura's kids, or something else entirely. He is responsible for the mechanical systems of the city, so maybe his logo that has wings is due to Gilgamesh wings? Anyways, that would be it. I also saw some stuff that might help with Xenoblade X being canon, but I don't want to sound too crazy just yet. Some ideas here might help in the future video that I'm planning to make, how the worlds look before Ionios. I hope I get to make it along with other people if possible. That will be it. Have a good one.